Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe what I just saw. What we just saw.
Yeah, literally.
The Houston Texans just shocked the world in front of the world.
Yes.
Primetime football,
Only game on.
Thursday night, only game on in Houston, 23-19. Final score. I am one part of your show, Ruben Calavillo. This is my co-host, Harley Dewey. We want to shout out Bleacher for allowing us to come on here, talk Houston Texans football. Always a big shout out to the man upstairs, Harley. Can you believe what we did today?
Absolutely not. I can't because the percentage of chance I was giving this team with Davis Mills at quarterback, and it was more so Davis Mills than anything. It was just, I don't know if Davis can beat a team of the caliber of the Buffalo Bills. And my goodness gracious, look, was it pretty? No. Was he okay? Barely. But that's all you ask for in a game where your backup quarterback is starting in the game. Your defense is the damn best defense we've seen in quite so many years, man.
I would go far to say this is the best Houston Texans defense that I think we've ever seen. And that's even with J.J. Watt during his defensive player of the year campaigns. What this edge rushing duo between Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter are doing alongside of Derek Stingley, Kamar Lassiter. You even have to add in your linebackers. They've been playing fantastic all year. I love me some 99, Harley. But the way they have been playing all year and the way they played today just showed you this is the best defense in the NFL. This is a Super Bowl caliber defense. And after today, after 5 minutes ago, the NFL playoff scene should be put on notice. You do not want to face this Houston Texans defense.
Hell no, you don't want to face them. And we've been hoping to say that all year. After the 0-3 start, the Houston Texans now go 6-2 since the 0-3 start. They are 6-5 right now. They're looking like one of the few teams to ever have the start that they have had and still make the playoffs. And we are talking about the playoffs because it is a legitimate chance after this win, a very much needed win for the Houston Texans. They get it. They're 6-5. And now I'm looking at the rest of this AFC, and you are in a favorable position because the Colts play the Chiefs. To me, that is a win-win scenario. You would prefer the Colts to win, though, and the Chiefs to fall to 5-6 in a crazy scenario. You got the Jaguars. They're 6-4. If they lose, do you move up ahead of them? I don't know the specific details there.
We don't know the math.
Damn it, man. This Texans defense continues to have the biggest backpack ever in NFL history, it feels like. This is just crazy stuff we're seeing, man. My goodness.
Yeah, they definitely put the game today on their back. Josh Allen, 25 of 35, 262 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a quarterback rating of 69.0. Look, when we were talking about this game, we said the only confidence we have is in this defense because we know what they did last year against Josh Allen during his MVP campaign. He was 9 of 30, under 100 yards. I think he had 1 touchdown, no interceptions, was only sacked 1 time. This time, he was 262 yards. He was 25 of 35, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 8 times today, Harley, a quarterback rating of 69. And he rushed the ball for 20 times, which is surprising because the Texans are dead last in quarterback runs. But Josh Allen today, after what he did last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, was their offense. He was a non-factor today.
Shout out to 5-1. Shout out to 55. You're the best edge rush duo in the NFL.
Talk about it.
They just decided to go out there and wreak havoc for 4 quarters. 51 was just super noticeable, but you can't forget 55 either because he had himself a pair of sacks. Will Anderson, I believe, had 2.5 sacks on the game. I mean, And we're not even talking about the rest of the defense that had a sack party tonight on Josh Allen, visibly upset after the game. Just a phenomenal day defensively for the Houston Texans. The House of Horrors continue for the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen anytime they come into Houston. They don't know how to play. They don't know how to move. They don't know what to do. They're lost in the traffic. I don't know what it is. But the Houston Texans got the Bills number, and I can't explain it.
Yeah, I believe Josh Allen is now 1-4 in Houston. And you talk about 8 sacks on the day, zero point 0.5 sacks to Mario Edwards,
Yeah.
1 sack to the OG Derek Barnett, 1 sack to number 39, Henry Toa Toa. He finally gets that sack that he has been missing the last 2 weeks. 2 sacks by Danielle Hunter. Now let's talk about Danielle Hunter. Because Danielle Hunter, he had a stretch after week 2 against Tampa Bay where he went 5 games without a single sack, a single TFL. In the last 3 games, he had 3.5 sacks. He had 1.5 sacks. And today, he had 2 to push him to 11 sacks on the year for the Houston Texans. I'll get to number 51 in a second, but number 55 is just showing you that he was worth the contract extension that you gave him in the offseason. Danielle Hunter, he had a rough start, but now he is firing on all cylinders, Harley.
This is he has just been absolutely amazing. Danielle Hunter, I mean, we could talk about him on and on and on. He's been a fantastic signing for this Houston Texans defense. Shout out to the local man. I mean, my goodness gracious. There's just not enough to talk about with Danielle. He goes 5 straight games without a sack, and then just seems like, okay, you know what? My bad. Let me get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone say, oh, okay. It just seemed like once he turned up, did it feel like even though the defense has been playing phenomenally, it just feels like once he turned up his level, the defense said we got to match his level. And it's scary to say that they maybe played on another level since Danielle Hunter has got this rise in sacks.
Well, if you remember when we initially did the trade for Danielle Hunter, it was a big trade where like he is the icing on the cake for your offseason. He had a double-digit sack in year 1, and now in already week 11, he has another 10 sacks for you, and he added on 2 today. The season's not over. Danielle Hunter could easily end up with 15, 16, 17 sacks for you. But let's talk about number 51. Let's talk about Will Anderson Jr. Because I said this offseason, Will Anderson Jr. should be in your dark horse for Defensive Player of the Year. Now, he had a sack today, which furthered his streak of 6 sacks in a row. But what he also did was not only get 1 sack, he got 1.5 more. Will Anderson Jr. ended the game with 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup. Danielle Hunter slowly becoming number 99, Harley.
And that sounds crazy to say, but it sounds so realistic. I mean, just visibly watching the game, the eye test alone, you can just tell 51 out there is an absolute problem, whether or not he's getting to Josh Allen or any quarterback in general. I mean, the right tackle, Brown, for the Bills, he was lost all day. They had to take him out of the damn game. I mean, there were some false starts that they didn't even call, in my opinion, that were missed on both sides of Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. Will Anderson's got 10.5 sacks on the season. He is top 5 in QB hits with 17. He is top 3 in TFLs at 14. Will Anderson has a legitimate case to be your defensive player of the year. And I'll even go more of a hot take. I don't know if he had the best game defensively today.
You're talking about Kalen Bullock?
My goodness gracious.
Kalen Bullock, 5 total tackles, 5 of them solo, 1 forced fumble, 2 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. Kalen Bullock, the ball hawking safety that we saw last year, had to follow it up. Kalen Bullock made some plays for you, Harley. Talk to me.
the emergence of Kalen Bullock. It feels like after the bye week, Kalen Bullock has just been an absolute terror for opposing quarterbacks when they are looking to pass this ball. We were known that the Buffalo Bills, they have improvisation on their side with Josh Allen, and they are going to continue to look to push the ball down the field. I do not remember one pass that was more than 25 yards in today's game. Josh Allen did not have many opportunities to throw the ball down the field. And that was all thanks to Kalen Bullock. 2 interceptions for him. The game sealing interception as well. Then he has the Peanut Tillman moment where he gets the fumble on, I believe, Khalil Shakir. I could be wrong there. But 3 turnovers in total for Kalen Bullock. This is what you were expecting, though. With Kalen Bullock coming out of USC, 6'3" safety, this biggest thing, his adage was he is a ball hawking safety, and you were hoping that his ball hawking ability was going to translate easily into the NFL. We were pissed that he did not really start at the beginning of his rookie year, but he made an immediate impact with an interception on Anthony Richardson in the Colts game just last year. He continues to make an impact for you in this secondary.
You know who else had a big impact today? Tim Settle.
Hey, man.
2 tackles for loss, 1 sack. Shout out to the defensive tackle. We haven't had any consistent production from the defensive tackle spot this season, but to see Tim Settle out there make plays, to see Sheldon Rankin out there make plays, he had a big tackle for loss. Now let's go over and switch to the defense. Harley Davis Mills, 16 of 30, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, no INTs, a quarterback rating of 90. What were your thoughts on the backup quarterback? I mean, I think he did a solid job. If I had to give him a grade, it's a B+. This is Thursday night football. This is coming off of a crazy game against the Tennessee Titans. Davis Mills is now 3-0 as starter for the Houston Texans. So first, let me get to that question, because you know what's going to pop up. Is there a quarterback controversy?
Absolutely not. It's a moot point at the end of the day, because CJ Stroud will be starting on the road in the
Stroud house.
And it's a moot point. Look, even if you wanted to entertain it, it's just not going to happen. CJ Stroud is your quarterback. You're going to go back to your quarterback. He is QB1 for a reason. When you look at this game in its entirety, I thought Davis Mills played okay. I thought he was average, but he was a backup quarterback. The biggest thing you didn't want was turnovers, and Davis Mills did not commit any turnovers today. I don't know if he even got sacked today, to be completely honest.
I was just about to bring that up. You talked about 0 turnovers. 0 sacks from the Houston Texans offensive line, which had Trent Brown as right tackle. It had Ed Ingram as right guard. It had Jake Andrews at center, Titus Howard at left guard, and the rookie Ariante Ursery at left tackle. What were your thoughts on the offensive line in terms of pass protection? Because in the run, Woody Marks, 16 attempts, 75 yards, 4.6 yards a carry. Nick Chubb, 16 yards, 2.7 yards a carry. Hutchinson, 9 yards. Noel, 5 yards. Mills, 4 yards. What were your thoughts on the offensive line today?
I thought they were magnificent today. Look, the Bills defense, I know they're missing Ed Oliver, but they still got some bulls up front, man. They still got Ogunjubi, who's making plays. Epinesa makes plays. Joey Bosa's still on the line. I know they're a little injured. We're injured too. In our own line, it ain't the greatest, but we were just clamoring about a week ago or 2 weeks ago that if the offensive line could configure itself to where Titus Howard plays left guard and your right guard is Ed Ingram and your right tackle is Trent Brown, then we are looking at possibly the out there. That is what we were hoping to see. Ed Ingram was hurt last week still. They wanted to sit him out another week, which was absolutely fine. But today's game is the best 5 that you can throw out there. I thought they played admirably well, did a damn good job, and they kept Mills upright. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, they kept Mills upright. They were able to run the ball effectively with Woody Marks. Nico Collins, 3 catches, 54 yards. Christian Kirk, 5 receptions, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Jaden Higgins led you today in targets, 9 targets, 4 catches, 38 yards, 1 touchdown. What were your thoughts from the pass catches today?
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Higgins got to learn how to keep his 2 feet in. That's something he's going to have to learn this offseason. He did have a catch where he did have his both feet in. So maybe he learned on the fly, but he needs to learn how to keep both feet in. Yes, Davis Mills did not make the best passes to him either, but you make the catch. You got to keep both feet in. That's really what I'm going to say there. Christian Kirk, though, best game of his Texans career. And hey, even though he dropped the pass in the end zone, that would have been another touchdown for Davis Mills, and that ultimately led to a field goal. But Christian Kirk had himself a damn good game today. I got to give it to him. Even though I'm not his biggest fan, I have to give it to him. The Bills did a good job of shutting down Nico Collins as much as they could. He had a little spurt where he had that quick 3 catches, 55 yards. I don't think he got another catch after, though. He did a good job holding number 12. But overall, you spread the football around. It wasn't a lot of yards being thrown around, okay? Davis Mills only had 150 yards thrown. So overall, though, I thought it was decent. Thought it was okay. Hopefully better. But with CJ, and that's the biggest thing, with CJ Stroud coming back next week in the way this offensive line playing, if they continue to keep the quarterback upright and they let Davis Mills have plenty of time in the pocket, especially on the last drive where I thought they were going to at least maybe get a field goal on the drive. They didn't. It is what it is. But ultimately, if that's number 7, you're looking at more points on the board, guaranteed.
Yeah, no, like you're looking at more points on the board. You're looking at a better game. No, and it's not taking anything away from Davis Mills. I mean, he went 3-0, in his opportunity to start for you, and that's what you want from backup quarterbacks. You want them to come in and win football games for you when you need them to. So shout out to Davis Mills. So if I was to give Davis Mills a grade on these last 3 games, I mean, it's nothing short of an A. He won you. It's 3-0.
Yes.
Mills Mafia. Shout out to you. Stand up. I mean, y'all deserve all the praise that that goes on this week. You deserve all the quarterback controversy takes you guys are going to have. Davis Mills, shout out to him, man. Your thoughts on him in the last 3 games?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's an A+ performance from Davis Mills. Look, was it pretty? No, but it's not supposed to be pretty when you have your backup quarterback in. You need everyone else to play perfect. You can't have drop passes. You can't have little minor mistakes. And the Houston Texans to start 0-3 and now 6-2 since that, and Davis Mills to go 3-0, and the defense to play, near perfect game. Near perfect game. I won't say it's perfect because that damn 4th and 27, that would have scared the crap out of me. The hook and ladder worked for them, and we were shitting bricks over here after that 4th and 27, and it wasn't pretty right there.
No, it wasn't pretty, and it was like, man, there's no way this defense lets you down at the very end. No, they get another sack. It's bend, don't break. Let's have some fun and have some good conversation. The Houston Texans are now 6-5, Harley. After starting 0-3, their last 6 games.
Mm-hmm. Their last 6 games, I believe.
Beat the Bills, volume 2. No, you beat them last year. You beat them again.
Lightsaber.
Are you 6-2 in your last 8 games?
Yes, you are.
Mm.
You started 0-3. You won 6-2 since.
6-2 since. You don't have your starting quarterback. This has definitely been one of the craziest seasons I've ever watched as a Houston Texans fan. But yet, we're here. We're here. And I can't believe that H-Town says, Harley, that let's be honest, though, Texans have looked better with Mills.
Cool.
I think at some moments, yes.
Cool. I can also argue that the offensive play calling has been very much better as of late. Is it the greatest? No. but it has been a lot better. The offensive line has played a lot better. There are other contributing factors that you have to look at besides just Davis Mills. He only had
Mhm.
150 yards today. Okay, it wasn't pretty. And you're looking at a game where he barely beat the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to entertain it. CJ Stroud, your quarterback, he's QB1 of the future. He'll be your quarterback next week.
Yeah, no, it's fun being prisoners of the moment, which is why we are saying all shout out to Davis Mills. He got you at 3-0. And that's what's crazy because you started 0-3. Your season was damn near dead. So if this Houston Texans team ends up in the postseason, you got to give a huge props to number 10 and what he did today. I cannot wait to see the conversation of the offseason about trading and what his value is. But Harley, the star of the day was this Houston Texans defense. Once again, Josh Allen, 24 of 35. 255 yards, no tutties, two interceptions, was sacked 8 times. What do you have to say about this Houston Texans defense going forward?
Look, man, first of all, Josh Allen only having 20 rushing yards after he went absolutely berserk against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, literally carried the team on his back at the end of the game. 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing plus touchdowns. The talk this week was, how are the Houston Texans going to stop this superhuman named Josh Allen? Well, damn it, we did it last year. This ain't nothing new. This is the same old, same old. This is what Josh Allen does against the DeMeco Ryans defense. We saw it last year where he looked absolutely average. We saw it today where he was visibly upset after the game. He looked average. And the Texans defense, you got to give them their credit when credit is due. They are the best defense in the NFL, and they are now reaching into a territory where they are not only the best defense in the NFL this year, they are not only the best defense in your franchise's history, but they are reaching that point to where are they the best defense you have seen in X amount of years? Because they are getting to that point. They're reaching the statistics for the 0-1 Ravens and the Broncos with Von Miller and Chris Harris and Aqib Talib and the Legion of Boom of the Seahawks. Like, they are not reaching the upper echelon of defenses that are just into another stratosphere. This is shout out to DeMeco Ryans and shout out to Matt Burke as well, too.
No, absolutely. They both deserve their praise. And, this team's on a 3-game win streak, Harley. I cannot believe that we are talking.
Biggest win of the year.
Biggest win of the year. I could honestly say it's your biggest win of the last 2 years during the regular season. The fact that you won this game without number 7, and you could say honestly that your defense is well led the way, should give you confidence going forward. Now let's just get healthy, CJ Stroud. Let's get this offensive line back, and let's make some things happen. Your confidence, Harlan, talk to me.
Speaking of the Legion of Boom, DJ Bieniemy comes out with a tweet. This defense, our Houston Texans defense, is allowing fewer yards, 270 per game, than the 2013 LOB 273. The Texans defense is close in points per allowed, 16 compared to Legion of Boom's 14.5, which is nuts. That right there, I just talked about how they've been on another stratosphere, how they're reaching that upper echelon of defenses in the history of the NFL. Etch the Houston Texans name around them, because they're going to be, after this season is over, they are not only going to be in the playoffs, but this defense is the biggest reason as to why, and they're going to be etched with the rest of these names in history.
This is what we've been talking about all year. We know what the defense is going to be. Elite at all levels. It's all going to be whether the offense can just put up 17, 20 plus points. Harley, the Houston Texans win today against the Buffalo Bills in a game where no one expected them to win. Even Vegas, there were 5.5 points underdogs, but they win 23-19. What are your thoughts on the Houston Texans right now?
I'm telling you right now, they're going to get a playoff spot. This defense is too good for them not to get a playoff spot. And if I am the Indianapolis Colts, I am shaking in my boots, because there is no way in hell the NFL allows the Kansas City Chiefs to fall to 5-6 and the Indianapolis Colts to host the Houston Texans have to be shaking and scared as shoot because Jonathan Taylor can only cover up for you so long, brother. The Houston Texans, we know what Daniel Jones is. We know who he is. And the Houston Texans defense, they're about to go into the Stroud House. And they're going to get themselves a W. I'm calling it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this season has not been easy, but the Houston Texans are 6-5 on a 3-game win streak, and they get their starting quarterback next week against the Indianapolis Colts in a game where, you know, the division record matters. The Houston Texans currently 3-1 in division. Somehow, some way, the Texans have been in this, and somehow, some way, there's still an area where the Houston Texans can end up just stealing this from everyone. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, for more Houston Texans content, we want to give a shout out to Bleach Report allowing us to come on here, talk Houston Texans football. The Texans today, there's no other way to put it. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. They shocked the world. 23-19 was the final score. Josh Allen sacked 8 times in Houston. Daniil Hunter, 2. Will Anderson Jr., 2.5. For more Houston Texans content, you guys all know what to do. Feel free and follow us for more. We love you guys. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.